call this meeting back into order. We've adopted the agenda, so we are now on to Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Kazi, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
It would be my honor. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, is there any need for an executive session? Seeing none, I will move on to item 5.1, presentations and recognitions. Dr. Guerin, will you introduce this item?
President Osborne, members of the Governing Board, Cabinet, and Community. Tonight, Ms. Anna Andrews, President of MSD38, will recognize merits and accomplishments of several of our amazing staff members. Ms. Andrews.
Awards are presented by the Madison District Classroom Teachers Association and Madison administration to recognize the certified and classified staff who truly demonstrate Madison's vision of inspiring passion for learning and leading in an ever-changing world. So we kind of changed things up a little bit this year. We're getting crazy, we're getting radical. And we wanted to actually take you guys with us on our journey to actually surprise the award recipients so that you can feel the mood that comes with this. One of the things I should probably have mentioned before is that Dr. Guerin actually was able to read the speeches to them when they were there, as opposed to them having to wait until the board meeting. So it is my honor to be able to share with you all the wonderful words that were said about these award recipients. So our first You Make the Difference recipient is Christy Davis. It is hard to put into words how wonderful Miss Davis is. When you approach the hallway of Miss Davis's classroom, you will often hear her singing to the children or teaching in such a calm voice that you are drawn into her room to see her in action. Miss Davis encourages her students to be themselves, to take risks, and to explore all that is being a kindergartner. Miss Davis leads her classroom with a strong sense of accountability for her students, compassion, kindness, and passion. Miss Davis instills in the students that they can do hard things, persevere, and accomplish greatness. Ms. Davis is also very supportive of her teammates and the staff at Madison Camelview. She often offers a listening ear or piece of friendly advice. Her communication with parents is exceptional, keeping them informed with every high and low that comes during the day. We often hear from parents how lucky and happy they are to have their child's first school experience to be with Ms. Davis, and we certainly agree. Christy is one of a kind, and we are glad she decided to be a Camel View Cub. Miss Davis makes a difference each day in the lives of each student and staff she encounters. Thank you, Miss Davis. I know. I'm sorry. Totally deserve it. You're so sweet.
I would just first and foremost thank you to Mrs. O'Brien for their amazing leadership at Camel View. From the day of my interview, I felt welcome and nurtured and supported. Every day I go to work, I'm free. And thank you to my husband for being here.
My honor. Our next You Make the Difference Award recipient is Josh Hoy. Madison Park is proud to acknowledge Mr. Joshua Hoy with the You Make a Difference Award. Mr. Hoy wears many hats at Madison Park, from being the 7th grade math and science teacher to being a member of the leadership team to running the Trade Up Club. Mr. Hoy shows up to work each day with a positive attitude and creates a welcoming environment, whether it's during meetings, in passing, during lunch, or within his classroom with his students. He builds positive relationships with colleagues, parents, and students. Even though he is relatively new to teaching, Mr. Hoy stepped up into a leadership role for the 7th grade team. This provided him the opportunity to work with leadership over the summer, to work on the school improvement plan, and help align parks initiatives to the district vision. Mr. Hoy has taken on the added responsibility of absorbing a math cohort in 7th grade, and with that, he brings his fresh approach to teaching and a scientific mindset to create new and innovative experiences for the students, not only in his classroom, but across campus. Mr. Hoy is a positive addition to the campus who gets along with all staff and all students, even those no longer in his class or that have not yet had his class. Hard work often goes under the radar, and seeing the effort and time he puts into this job the past few years is something that should not be overlooked. It is an honor to have Mr. Hoy as a teacher at Madison Park. He truly makes a difference.
Thank you. Yeah. Hello. Hi, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We get to about the trades. We built picnic tables today. So Park has. How'd that go? Well, we got 4 new tables.
Awesome.
Say a few words.
Yeah, sure. So I wanted to thank everyone for being here, and being recognized for this reward is really, I don't know, I'm just overwhelmed. I'm feeling a lot of things. So I'm new to Arizona as of 3 years ago, and I just want to say ever since I set foot at Park, I was welcomed by my leadership team, by my staff, by my students. So I'm happy to make Madison my new home, Park my new home, and Arizona my new home. So thank you. Yeah, I'd like to recognize people here to support my fiance Kaylee, taking photos in the back, Mrs. Galindo, Mrs. Santos, and everyone, and Mrs. Celia here repping Park. So thank you guys, and appreciate it.
All right, our first Shining Star Award recipient is Cecilia Ariza. We are very proud to recognize Miss Cecilia Ariza as a shining star at Madison Park. She has worked in the district for the past 20 years and is our nutrition manager. Throughout her time at Park, she has demonstrated a strong desire to lead and is outstanding in serving our community. In addition to her responsibilities to manage the day-to-day food service operation, she actively seeks out opportunities to help students in their desire to learn more about nutrition. Currently, she leads Parks Culinary Club. She provides hands-on learning experiences on how to grow foods from start to finish, as well as taking the harvested food to the kitchen, where students learn how to create healthy, nutritious meals. Cecilia's Culinary Club has not only made delicious food, but they have also maintained Parks Garden. Cecilia also has great rapport with our students and staff. She takes pride in helping to support positive school culture by participating in school spirit days, school wellness programs, and other school-wide events. She is a member of our Sunshine Committee and helps to plan celebrations, recognitions, and other fun campus activities. Cecilia is truly a shining star and is committed to serving our community. That's fair.
So you have some unnamed man back there. Does your husband know about him?
My sons.
All right, our second Shining Star Award recipient is John Padilla. John Padilla has consistently been a shining star for Madison Camel View since becoming our lead custodian 9 years ago. Each day, Mr. Padilla is tasked with a variety of duties that go beyond what I am sure he expects, and he never seems to bat an eye. From getting to school when the sun rises to ensure our campus is in tip-top shape for the kids, to supporting teacher requests, to solving plumbing issues, he is always willing and able to help. This year, he has been tasked with a rather laborious parent pickup setup, and the staff and students are beyond grateful for the extra efforts each day. Each day brings new and exciting opportunities, and we are continuously grateful for his expertise. Mr. Padilla knows Madison Camel View inside and out, and for these reasons, and so many more, he is a shining star.
Say any words?
Sure. How's everybody doing today? Good, good. No, it's an honor to receive this, to get recognized, and I do thank Mrs. O'Brien. It is a great school and such a great environment that you just try to do whatever you can to keep everything going, and so I really enjoy it there. Thank you.
Members of the board, if it's okay, what I'd like to do is move up item 6.1, the call to the public, just because we're running a little bit late, and out of respect for people in our community, if that's all right. All right, we have several calls to the public. First one, and everyone, please limit your comments to 3 minutes. And because it's not on an agenda item, we cannot respond or have a dialogue, unfortunately. But we will note your comments and then interact with the superintendent about instructions. So just to be forewarned. So first name I have is Patricia Scarpino. Please approach and welcome.
Thank you. My name is Patricia Scarpino. I live next door at Madison We've had some problems here, and I came here tonight to ask for your support and your assistance. Some of the things that we need help with is improving community safety, minimizing vandalism in our community, and I have been a resident in this community for over 9 years, and the last 2 years have been extremely difficult with ingress and egress issues, driver and pedestrian safety concerns, and vandalism in our community. I'm here to ask for your support to improve some of the problems that we are having. First, we have parents parking in our community. They're parking there, getting out, walking, causing ingress and egress issues. Having asked parents not to park in our drives in the fire lanes, I've been verbally assaulted and no longer want to go out and tolerate that kind of attack in person. My second concern is for students who walk home. They're walking across and going to the east side of 16th Street. They lose control of their balls. They chase after it. I've seen on several occasions students come close to being hit by cars. Some are on skateboards, some are just playing around. Third, both at the beginning and the end of day, out here on 16th Street, we have parents coming into a drive that it's marked no student drop-off and pickup, and yet it has happened for over 2 years. And almost weekly, we see something and hear noises like there's a car accident out there. There was an accident on the first day of school. There was one almost tonight as I was looking out the window. Just yesterday and this morning, a parent dropped a student off on 16th Street, right in front of my house in the street. Finally, our community has experienced vandalism. Last year, several times, students tried to pull off video doorbells. We've had students kick doors, and we've caught it on video. There have been times the police have been called. As of last week, a student was screaming so loud, and for so long I thought they'd been hit by a car, and I went out and asked if they needed help. Most of the problems are happening after school between 3:45 and 4 o'clock when you typically are supervising students, but there has never been anybody out at that particular point supervising. Last year, a coach on the baseball field actually witnessed a problem and stopped a kid, yelled his name across the street, and we were able to identify one of the students who was causing the vandalism because the coach was on the field. I'm asking for solutions and believe that we can work together, and if you drill down to the bottom of the problem, we can usually find a solution, and I'm willing to help find that solution.
Thank you. And Dr. Guerin, will you look into this issue and we'll get some feedback to you?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Next up, Brittany Hoffman.
Hi, thank you, board, for having me here today. I also live across the street of Madison Place community. I am part of this community, and my home does not deserve to be vandalized by students walking home. I was frozen in fear last Monday as I sat on a meeting, hearing the thud crash against my door and have it shake. I had members of my meeting ask me if I was okay because they heard the noise. You have the photos in front of you. You can see the damage that was done. That door is irreplaceable. I am having to spend nearly $1,000 to secure my home and provide more security for myself, not because of the homelessness problem in the city of Phoenix, not because of porch pirates, because of students who feel they don't need to behave like community members. We are all in this together. There are often times when I sit at my door or sit at my table while they're going to school because I am concerned. What if they get hit by a car? I can go out there and help them. What if they happen to fall in the street or a car comes up onto the curb? I want to be there to help them. But when I'm paralyzed in fear in my own home from them crashing against my door, then hearing the cackling of the students and the hitting of the pavement as they run because they know that I can't get up fast enough because I'm shocked, I'm stuck. And they think it's fun, they think it's games. It's not. It's my home. It is my front door. It is where I live. It is where I chose to live because this is a good, safe community. And I want it to stay that way. Just as Patty said, I want solutions. I've reached out to the principal. I've reached out to the front office to have no reply. They have those photos that you have in front of you. I've provided each of you a business card as well because I want to be part of the solution. We can do this together, okay? Because our community and our homes across the street do not deserve to be harassed and terrorized and concerned that every time a child walks by, what am I gonna have to worry about today? What am I gonna have to deal with from them? They deserve to be treated like humans and deserve to be uplifted, but when they commit acts of vandalism, there is a police report for my door because it is criminal vandalism. It is damage of hundreds of dollars that I now have to pay out of pocket for one act of fun, one TikTok video, one, prank that they pulled. It's not kids being kids. This is criminal damage. And we together can find solutions. But that means you have to work with us. You have to be part of our community as well. We all want the same thing, a safe community to live in. And I think that we can achieve that together. And I appreciate you hearing me today. Thank you.
Thank you. And then last one is it Chauncey? Charity. Cherry. All right. Please approach.
Hello, my name is Charity Bailey. I too am a neighbor and a homeowner in the community here at Madison Place. I have a different take than my neighbors. I do not negotiate with children. So we have had this situation a couple of times where they have kicked off the Ring camera off one of our neighbors' doors, kicked at it another time. Several times I tape my show from home. They kicked it so hard one day, I thought, because we were doing construction here, I thought that there was a car accident that happened. They rattled my entire thing to the point where my producers were like, is everything okay? Freaked my dog out. So now you're costing me money because we have to stop production so that I can calm my dog down, who now will not stop barking for like 10, 15 minutes. She's freaked out. So I ran out, and I know these children. I see them all the time. So I'm like, what's going on? They lied to me. Okay, fine. You want to be in junior high? You want to lie? Whatever. That was the first time. The second time, I ran out quick enough and my other neighbor caught them. Mind you, I'm letting you guys know, I'm not the only one that does not negotiate with children, okay? My other neighbor has said, this is Arizona. If you vandalize my home, you shake me up to a point and I come out and I protect my home, then that's on them and their parents. And you can let your mind run with it, however that works. It's gotten to a point where he's very old school too. He's like, I'm not gonna play the game. So I came out. The one kid that everybody knows, the principal, the vice principal, the other students, the other parents know exactly who this kid is. He took off running. The other two stayed behind, crying and in fear because we called the police. And when their parents came, I said, you're gonna sit here with me until your parents come. Because that's how we did things in my community. You don't get to do what you want to do. He came back and he looked me in my face as a junior high school student and said, I'm a kid. I do dumb things. Well, if you are grown enough to do dumb things and know that you can do dumb things under the guise of being a child, you're going to take responsibility for them. He then tried to get the other students to leave with him, which they did not, because I don't play games with children and they know that. Mind you, these same children come to my door like once a week because I told them, I'm an auntie at the end of the day. I love you. The other two children that were with him, a black child and a brown child, I will stand up for you. I will defend you. I will not let these people lay you out in the street. But what you will not do is put yourself in harm's danger, in harm's way. So when their parents came and the police were there, they then took care of it. I called the school several times. I spoke to the assistant principal, finally called me back because I let her know if she did not call me back, I will walk across the street. I'm not afraid of children. You're not gonna harass me in my home. Once you trespass, we got a problem. And I let them know, I let the police know, and I will let all of you know that if I catch that kid again, his mom will come and pick him up from the space, or I will take him to them, because I'm not gonna negotiate with children, and it's not up for question with the adults at the school or in the room. So I need you to fix it. Let them know, because if we have to handle it, it will get handled. But at the end of the day, I pay a mortgage and I pay to live there, and I deserve to live in a safe space. And I will do just that at any cost. So we need to fix it and fix it fast. Especially, my time is up, but I have seniors that live in my community. My parents are seniors. They do not need to be afraid or accosted or verbally assaulted by parents, because I don't play with that either. And I was there one day when they were speaking to her that way, and I said, hey, knock it off. It's not up for negotiation where I live, pay mortgage, and deserve to have peace in my home. So I'm asking y'all, they're saying partner, I'm saying fix it, because I'm not going to negotiate. Once it happens again, me and the parents will have it out, and then we'll have a bigger issue. But I will have gone on record 3 times saying that I asked you, I told you, I begged you, I took care of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dr. Guerin, were you looking into this item? All righty. Appreciate the comments, and we will now move back onto our agenda. Hold on one second. Dr. Guerin, I think we're on to superintendent's report. Anything to report?
Yes, thank you, President Osborne, members of the governing board, cabinet, and community members. Thank you to our educational services and our middle school principals and assistant principals for sharing school integrated action plans with the governing board at our study session. The presentations were outstanding and will inform our future work to ensure the greatest impact to students' individual growth. I am happy to report that we hired 7 new visiting teachers recently and 6 new community education kids club leaders. So thank you to Human Resources. Our outreach efforts are working. And parents, if you are interested in becoming a substitute teacher, please do not hesitate to reach out to us, because we would put you to work right away. So thank you. Friendly reminder that next week is fall break. And I want to announce we are excited to host our Discover Madison in person for the first time in a couple years tour of our elementary school campuses on Friday, November 4th at 8:30 a.m. Please help us get the word out about our amazing school district, especially with any families that are considering Madison for next year. And you can visit it madisonaz.org/Discover Madison for more information and to sign up for this interactive tour that will be led by 2 of our very own governing board members. In addition, our Madison Education Foundation, led by new director Molly Dodd, will be hosting a free movie night with food trucks on November 5th from 5 to 9 o'clock at the Madison Center for the Arts. The movie will be Disney Pixar Luca, which I haven't seen. Tickets are free but limited to however many seats we have at the Madison. So sign up in advance at madisoneducationfoundation.org/events. And I know our communications department is highlighting both of these events on all our social media. So that's all I have tonight.
All right, thank you very much. We'll start with Ms. Kazi for board member reports, and we'll work our way this way.
Thank you. I want to also thank the middle school leadership for their outstanding school improvement reports. Every year, I feel like the caliber of the presentations and the value of the conversation afterwards goes up exponentially, and I felt that way tonight. And I thank my fellow board members for a really robust conversation as well, and Dr. Guerin for her patience with us, and for the audience for also your patience with us. We went over, and we apologize for that. I had the honor of attending the PTO luncheon. I've been impressed with the attendance levels, the energy, the quality of the information that's being shared. People definitely value these meetings. They're getting something out, tangible, to take back to their schools. I think that's exciting. And then finally, I was able to speak with the MD, the Madison District Classroom Teachers Association board last night, and always valuable to hear their insights and perspectives. Thank you.
Ms. Beer.
Thank you. I wanted to express my gratitude and appreciation to our middle school principals and assistant principals. The reason we were late for our meeting, for those of you who are watching online or here in the audience, is that once a year, really, we have an opportunity to sit with the principals and have them report on sort of the state of the union of each of their schools. And it is a critical time for us as board members to be able to interface with them and understand exactly what's going on so that we can better support them, and also to really be updated as to where our strengths are and also where our weaknesses are. So I wanted to thank everybody for their patience. We don't run late. We don't start meetings late. That's not a norm for us. And so I just wanted to apologize for us running late and explain why. And I also wanted to thank the members of the community who spoke in the calls to the public. And that's all I can say, but I just wanted to say thank you, and that's all I have to report.
Ms. Gresham.
Thank you. Yes, congratulations to our award winners. Is this on? Oh, yeah. Tonight, and thank you for the middle school presentations. I'll be happy when we get to discuss it as a study session, because I feel like at the end when we start just discussing things as opposed to the presentations, that's when we really start getting into the meat of things. So I look forward to that. But I also noticed all the new guest teacher hires, which is awesome. And we're also always hiring at the district level for various positions. So yes, if you know anybody, please let us know. And yeah, I think that's all I have for now. Thank you.
Mr. Holcomb.
Thank you. Yes, the discussion and the interaction at the presentations by the middle school principals and the administration, as well as we had prior to the elementary, is critical, I think, to us, and it's one of my favorite parts of the year. By the way, it's 906 seats in our Madison, so and hopefully we'll fill them all. And Luca, I have seen it. It is a great movie. Not that I watch every animated movie, but I actually watch a lot of them, and it's a very good movie. So hopefully a lot of the community will come out there. The Madison is a community asset, and having not only school families but the community come and utilize it, is very important to us. And I also wanted to mention the PTO luncheons. That is a great community as well. It's great to see how all the PTOs help each other and come together, and it's one of the things that really makes this district great is the community involvement through the PTOs. And that's all I have. Thanks.
All right, and I have nothing to report, and other than to say thank you to all the principals and the team for their great presentations earlier. All right, now on to item 7, consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Spear with a second from Ms. Kazi, please vote. The motion passes. Now on to item 8.1, aggregate expenditure limit override. Dr. Guerin, do you want to briefly explain this issue? I think we've all been generally briefed on it, but give us a little background.
President Osborne, members of the governing board, cabinet, and guests, the legislature recently allocated money to school districts that really was unprecedented in regards to the amount. So we were able to fund so many positions and supports that we've needed. Unfortunately, there is past legislation that from the 1980s that sets an amount that schools can spend per year, and that has to be overridden by the legislature. And so even though the money is allocated and sitting there, and in many cases being spent by school districts to hire our teachers and staff and keep our doors open, come April, we will no longer be able to spend this money once we've exceeded this arbitrary amount that was determined in the 80s. So this governing board is considering a resolution to support that this aggregate expenditure limit be overridden. Last year, it was overridden for 1 year only, so we were back at the same problem that we had last year. So not only are we requesting that it be fixed, but we would like a permanent fix. So this governing board is considering making a resolution to ask the governor to call a special session as soon as possible to lift the AEL limit.
Thank you. Just to add, I think if the ADL is not either waived or hopefully permanently modified, we would stand to lose about $7.5 million in spending capacity. So just to be clear, Arizonans would be taxed on that amount. Property taxes, everything would still tax the people, but we just couldn't spend it. Now, what happens to the money? We don't know, we just can't spend it. So it seems like something that would be, the rational thing to do would be to modify that and let us spend what you have appropriated to us. So with that, I'd be happy to take a motion or any comments, or if you want to make comments while you explain your vote, however you so desire.
I move that we adopt the resolution supporting the fiscal year 2023 aggregate expenditure limit override.
Second?
All right, motion by Ms. Spears, second by Ms. Gresham. Please vote.
May I explain my vote?
You may.
This is something that should not even have to come to a resolution. This is something that the legislature should do. They are paid a salary just like everybody else. They need to do their job. And I strongly support this resolution. Thank you. And I voted aye.
I also would like to explain my vote.
Go ahead.
Of course, I agree with Ms. Spear, and if everyone remembers, we were dealing with this last March, April, at the last minute, and we were questioning whether it was even going to get lifted, and so it just causes a lot of chaos for no reason, and it's just, for many years, it was an automatic, it just happened every year, no big deal, and then it's just been in the last few years that it's become some sort of ploy that the legislature's using, and the only other thing I'll say about it is that there has to be a permanent solution. We can't just keep hoping that this gets lifted every year. So the legislature, or if we need to do a citizen initiative, something needs permanently to be done about this. So that's all I'll say about that. Thank you.
Okay. Scott, motion passes unanimously, and I've signed the letter. And Dr. Guerin, will you please send it to whoever needs to be sent to?
I absolutely will do that, President Osborne. Thank you very much.
All right, next, 9.1, discussion regarding future meetings.
So, of course, tonight we just finished with our final school reports, and then moving to October 11th. You could maybe scroll up. There we go. That will be our study session. So we have an agenda that we will finalize and send out with strategic plan updates. It's okay. A debrief of school presentations, Madison Center for the Arts, and superintendent goals and performance-based pay. October 25th, we will start with our showcases from our schools. So we will begin with Rose Lane. We will also have You Make a Difference in Shining Star. And I'd like to call these next few meetings our policy advisory meetings. So we will be doing some heavy-duty policy work along with Ms. Garvey sharing our annual financial update. So we will have some action-packed meetings to get us through the fall season.
Just to clarify, Dr. Guerin, so our next meeting, we do have the park showcase as well, right?
Okay, yes, so October 11th is the park showcase at 5:45. So I got confused with the scrolling. It's okay. So yes, October 11th, park showcase, and we will also have an MOU between Madison and Adverse Childhood Experience Consortium, along with our first policy reads that will be led by Barb Marshall.
So much fun doing policies.
About 90 pages worth so
During
far.
college, you were just dreaming, I want to write administrative policies. All right, any comments, questions, additional requests for additional items? If not, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Ms. Kazi, second by Ms. Gresham. Please vote. The motion passes. We are adjourned.